Good morning, kids. It's Mr. Agee here, and I'm wanting to talk to you about your work for Wednesday, November 18th. And so, because of our delay earlier this week, we are going to take part two of the Module 2 assessment today. So, and there's also an addition that I want to talk to you about a little bit too, in the work that I've posted. So you're going to zoom on down here to the week 14 math and word study, and you'll notice that there is a third folder here. It has been brought to my attention that some people might want some extra work. And so inside the math extensions folder, I'll allow you to be free and explore that at your leisure. If you feel like you want to get some extra work with some measurement principles and the work that we're doing, it takes it a little bit farther than a little bit further actually than we went with the third grade material. So it's like stretching it and challenging you a little bit more when you dig into this math extensions folder. So have fun with that if you have the time to do that and you want to do that. The work that you have assigned to you that you actually have to do for your grade is in this folder, the red math folder here. And tomorrow is Wednesday. Well, I'm recording this on Tuesday, but it's for today, Wednesday. And it's the Mod 2 test part 2. So as you go into part 2, Cami should be working again. I got many, not all, but many of your test submissions that you have sent to me, but I don't have everybody's. And so it is a requirement that you send the test to me so that I can take a look at your thinking and work and learning. So make sure you do submit part 1 of the test, and as you do part 2 of the test, make sure you submit that as well. So just going through this line by line, there are 2 pages to this. We're still talking about the scenario of the person flying on the airplane, and they're trying to connect everything to the airplane situation. For number 4, this whole page is number 4 for A, B, C, and D. They ask you, or they tell you the story, a large airplane uses about 256 liters of fuel every minute. If you think about that, that's quite a lot. And so all the problems have to do with that fact. So A, you're rounding to the nearest 10 liters to estimate how many liters of fuel get used every minute. So they want you to take this number here and round it to the nearest 10. I would recommend using a statement to say 256 rounds to blank. And remember, we're to the nearest 10 in this example, not to the nearest 100. And in item B, they tell you to use this estimate, the estimate that you came up with here, to find out how many liters of fuel get used every 2 minutes. So you're going to be doubling the estimate that you get here in item A, in item B. And so I would be expecting you to put an equation or some kind of work that shows how you get your your doubled estimate of how many liters the plane uses. So you're finding out, or you're using the estimate to find out how many liters of gas the plane uses in 2 minutes. And then it says calculate precisely. So the precise calculation is the exact number. So you're using 256. Calculate precisely how many liters of fuel are used every 2 minutes. This one here is it's not an estimate, it's the exact number. Okay, so this is the amount of fuel used in 1 minute, and they're asking you to figure out how many liters of fuel are used in 2 minutes exactly. And then they ask you to draw a tape diagram to find the difference between your estimate and the precise calculation. So in order to get full credit for this example, you actually have to draw the tape diagram. I would recommend using the shapes feature and the rectangle to draw your tape, or tapes, depending on what type of problem you think this is. And we've modeled problems like this numerous times before, and you can feel free to dig back into the old files that we've done, or maybe your old work, to see what what it looks like to draw a tape diagram to find the difference between two things. So they want you to find the difference between your estimate and the precise calculation. So the precise calculation is here, and the estimate that you found is here. So they're asking you to compare the amount of fuel that you found exactly in C to the estimated amount in B. And that's the work that you'll do here. So you'll draw the tape diagram, and you'll also use some sort of computation strategy to determine what that difference is and say what that difference is. Moving on to the last page of the assessment here, we've got number 5, A, B, C, and D. So they're all somewhat related to each other. I'll read it to you. Baggage handlers lift heavy luggage into the plane. The weight of one bag is shown on the scale to the right. So here's the bag, here's the scale. One baggage handler, this is just a person carrying luggage, lifts 3 bags of the same weight. Okay, so 3 of these. Round to estimate the total weight he lifts. Then calculate exactly. So there are 2 different computations that you're going to be doing here, 2 different calculations. You're going to do one calculation where you are rounding to estimate this total weight, 3 bags of this weight, and then you're actually doing a separate calculation that is exactly this amount 3 times. Okay, so you should have 2 separate calculations in 5A to get full credit. On B, another baggage handler, a different person, lifts luggage that weighs a total of 200 kilograms. Okay, write and solve an equation to show how much more weight he lifts than the first handler in part A. So you're going to use your exact calculation from this example and compare it to this 200 kilograms that the second baggage handler lifted. And then in C, you are, it says the baggage handlers load luggage for 18 minutes. So this is a time problem. If they start at 10:25 p.m., what time do they finish? So their start time is 10:25. It gives you the duration. Your job is to find the end time. You can use a number line. You can use mental math. You can use the clock tool on the interactive virtual manipulatives page that is linked on our Schoology home pages. Any method you use would be a good method as long as it's accurately finding 18 minutes from 10:25, from the start time of 10:25. And the last question on the test says one baggage handler drinks the amount of water shown below every day at work. How many liters of water does he drink during all 7 days of the week? So if he drinks this amount every day, how much does he end up drinking in 7 days drinking this amount? So I would expect that you would show some sort of method for your calculation. Maybe you're drawing a picture, maybe you are writing an equation, maybe you're using the standard algorithm. You could use an open number line. Even a tape diagram would be a good way to do this to show that you understand your calculation and what's actually happening here. All right, and that's that. If, for example, tomorrow is like the handful of other times that Kami has not worked, you're free to do another section in the sprints. In that fluency book, I wouldn't go too far with that because we will be starting to build routines with that later on in the week and as we begin Module 3. And I would invite you again, if you'd like to test your skill on the math extensions. This goes a little bit further than the 3rd grade work that we've exposed you to up to this point. So good luck, best wishes, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. If you have questions, make sure you bring them to our live session and we can chat about it. Adios.